Hi, my name's Lloyd Bodette. I'm a teacher at Shasta High School, and I want to tell you a little bit about a family that I learned about not too awful long ago, and the story behind it. I've known Dawn for quite a while, and we've talked over the years about doing something jointly as far as charity goes, and I hadn't seen Dawn in quite a while, and probably a year or so, and a couple weeks ago at school, I was reading some emails that were going back and forth between some teachers, and they mentioned about this family who had their house burned down, lost everything, and the teachers were commenting back and forth about how great these kids were and what a tragedy this is, and there were so many teachers, putting their comments in there, and I'm like, wow, these kids sound like they're really good kids, and I never had any of the kids from this family. There's 7 of them, and I've never had any of them in my class, but I was pretty moved about the story and the comments I was hearing about these kids. So um, anyway, that night I go to the gym and I ran into Dawn, as coincidentally as that happened to be. And she came up to me and she was asking me if I had heard of anything that, about things that maybe we could get involved in. And as far as charity goes, and I said, geez, how ironic, because this is what was going on at school today. And I told her, and then she got really fired up about it and got me fired up about it, and we decided to pursue it. So very interesting story, very moving story. And as I found out more and more about it, I became very passionate about helping these folks out. So I'd like to tell you, what's going on here. Candace Steele is a 68-year-old grandma, and they all lived in Fairfield 13, 14 years ago. And Candace's daughter was a mother of 8 children. And unfortunately, she had a 13-year-old boy who was autistic, and he was unattended in the shower and fell down, hit his head, and later died from those injuries. Well, the state wanted to take the kids away and put them in foster care. And Candace, the grandmother, decided to step in. She didn't want to see the kids taken apart and put into the foster care system, so she fought to get custody of the kids, and the judge ended up granting her custody, and for all 7 children. And another part of this story is Candace had lost her husband within a year prior to this, and she hadn't actually even had a chance to finish mourning the loss of her husband and pick up the pieces of her own life. And when all this came up, and she stepped up and took these 7 kids in all by herself to raise, and the kids' ages were, the oldest was in 4th grade, and the youngest 3 were still in diapers. And she took on this humongous task by herself. The judge actually recommended that she leave Fairfield area and get away from the daughter and her boyfriend and start a new life for her and the children somewhere else. And she ended up here at Shasta County and found a home out in Igo on 30 acres, and she thought the 30 acres would be ideal for the kids, and they could run around and have a ton of room to grow up and roam and have fun, and it was an ideal situation for quite a while, and they escaped the car fire. They had to evacuate, but fire didn't take down the house or anything. And unfortunately, this past time, the whole house got burned down. There's nothing left, and they've been. They said they lost everything. They had to get out. I think they were either the people that called in the fire or one of the first ones to notice the fire and escape. They had to escape with their lives. Grandma left her purse there, everything. They just had to run out, and they driving through flames, and the only car they have is severely damaged. And like I said, they lost their home. They lost everything. They just left what was on the back. And from right now, they're just bouncing around place to place. A few days here, a few days there, and I think they're actually right now with one of the family members that's letting them live there. They had insurance, but after the car fire, the insurance dropped their policy, and she had to pick up another one, which wasn't near the insurance they needed, and it was double the premium. And Candace has been fighting the insurance company, and at this point she's just given up and doesn't think that they're going to do anything for her. So they're in need. They're in desperate need of help, and I felt compelled to to get involved here and just kind of asking others to get behind the cause and see what we can do to help these folks out. And I truly believe that 12 years ago, she was in a situation that she had to step up and take on a great responsibility. And, I really hope as a community we can step up and help her now. Thank you.
Hey, my name's Brian Beasley. I'm a counselor at Shasta High School, and I'm the counselor for Patrick and Seth. Great kids. I've had the opportunity to work with both boys, and great energy, positive outlook on life, hardworking. I know they did a lot around their house, helping out with their grandmother and the other kids, and just great kids to invest in. Really feel horrible, all the stuff that they've had to go through recently. They have support here at Shasta High School, and I'm just very fortunate to have the opportunity to work with both boys.
Hi, my name is Scott Tyler. I teach at Shasta High School, and I've had the privilege of having Patrick in my class this fall. What a tremendous kid. Very inquisitive, very cool, very controlled, composed, really trying to figure out how everything comes together, how the world works, and just a neat mind to have in class and to talk with, always asking questions, always clarifying things. So, yeah, great kid. I do remember when the first day he came back after they lost their house in the Zog fire, he was kind of been out of shape. Not been out of shape, but just definitely visibly downtrodden when he first walked in the room. Just seemed tired, just seemed like he'd been through quite the ordeal, which indeed he has. And I was talking to him, and he's like, "Mr. Tyler, you gotta see this video. Let me show you this." And he showed me this video where they are escaping the Zog fire, and there's fire all around. It just looks very harrowing. It was a pretty intense video to watch. And he, even in the face of that, he seems very resilient. Like later in the class, I was asking questions about what the work with the text that we were reading, and he's raising his hands and answering questions. And if you were to walk in and observe that class, you would have no idea that they had just endured a harrowing experience the previous week. So I think there's a lot of resiliency there. Seems like a great kid, and it seems like a great family, and definitely one worth investing in. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Christy Morales. I'm the drama and English teacher at Shasta High School, and I have had the pleasure of teaching both Perry and Seth. I've known Perry for 3 years and Seth for 2, and both of them, Perry was in my English class and in my drama class, and Seth was in just my drama class because his brother got him to join with him. The thing about drama is that you get to develop a close relationship with students that you wouldn't be able to quite do in an English class. It's a very dynamic class. You sometimes reveal personal things on stage. Everybody is way more comfortable with each other. And as a result, I feel like I've been able to really see these boys for who they are. And the thing about Perry and Seth is that to know them is to love them, that they are goodness, they are kindness, they are inclusive, they are warm and bright and smart. And for this to be something that they have to deal with it's kind of heartbreaking. I also lost my house in the car fire, and I know exactly what they're going through. And I know that they don't even know yet what they've lost, and they don't know how much help they're really going to need, and that they're going to go through a period of time where they feel like the community's moved on without them. And I just want to make sure that they get all the help that they deserve.